Hi, my name is Mick Jongeling. I'm a digital transformation designer at the Digital Society School, and for the past 2 years I've been working in the digital to physical track. Basically, the digital to physical track meant for me that we were looking into the ethics of online services that were deployed on the physical self. So we looked, for instance, at how data visualization could have been made more comprehensible, as well as certain metaphors that we use to explain the internet and make them understandable and relatable for everybody. Another thing that is valuable to teach is data visualization. So what we often see with research or data is that everybody needs to understand it, and it's very mathematical. And what we've experienced is that a lot of people don't really know how to comprehend data. So what we started doing is making prototypes that make data interactable but also relatable. So we wanted to make people confronted by data so they can actually talk about it and move around and say what was right and what was wrong about it. The last aspect that I particularly trained about was art direction. So obviously there's a lot of visual language going on with new technology, and it was very important for young designers to understand what the consequences are of particular design choices that they make. So they can choose for a color, but that color doesn't mean the same thing in different cultures. So they would have to be really aware of different cultures, different dynamics, so that they could make a design that was applicable to everybody. I started out as a solution-driven designer, but what I've learned in the previous years is that I really need to co-create, but also collaborate to get all these different perspectives to work towards sustainable solutions. So one thing that I have learned, what is really valuable for me as a designer, is that sometimes my references come from my own culture. So I only use particular movies or media or images that I've seen, but what I've got from these past 2 years with Design Across Cultures is that everybody has a different referential frame. So what you can see is that everybody has a different perspective, so that influences your choices. So what I would like to do from now on is to say, how can I not be a Western designer, which is a really tough question to ask, but that's something that I've learned from these past 2 years that I want to develop.